Welcome, beautiful people, and thank you for joining us on Till the Wheels Fall Off, a podcast by Two Faux Couple. I'm Matt.
And I'm Paige.
And we're here to inspire others, to bring you guys into our lives and tell you a little bit about our journey. Over 20 years together, we've learned a few things.
We're going to work toward being the best version of yourself possible. We're going to dig into building a positive mindset, discuss mental health, addiction recovery, improving fitness, building businesses, and insight into what it takes to navigate life today.
Welcome back to episode 3 of Till the Wheels Fall Off. I'm Matt.
I'm Paige.
And we're here to fight.
Yeah.
Here to talk about it anyway. We're here to talk about the best ways to go about this, what good fighting is, what bad fighting is. There is such a thing as a good fight, by the way. Mm-hmm. Paige taught me this. Mm-hmm. And why are you going to listen to us about it? I'll tell you why. If there were two people, the stars had aligned, that could not be more different and could not see eye to eye, that would define our marriage.
Yes.
But we figured it out and made it work, which is through crash courses in conflict resolution.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aries.
And what am I?
A Cancer.
Yeah, we're not supposed to work out together.
I don't really know much about the horoscopes, but every time I'm talking to someone who's really into that world, I'll mention what I am, and they'll say something like,
"Oh, that makes sense."
That makes sense. So apparently, and I don't know, you put as much stock into the stuff as you want, but I am a fiery type of personality. I'm very.
You think?
I don't know, is the term alpha? Like I'm just.
Yes, you're an alpha.
Yeah, like type A personality.
And I'm the total opposite. I'm very submissive.
Yeah, and she's hyper feeling. She's a highly sensitive person. Wears her emotions on her sleeve. I'm more of the type that's, if there's a task at hand, I can bleed for it, get stuff done, and I don't really care who gets hurt in the process. And it makes for a really interesting marriage.
And fighting is very interesting.
Fighting has been.
So we told y'all we were going to get uncomfortable, and so there's some topics that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, we're going to open up the show you the skeletons in our closet when it comes to how. But honestly, it's a beautiful story about how we came to respect one another and fight fair.
Right. It's taken a lot of practice.
Yeah. So let's talk about the way that we used to fight. So
when we were kids.
Yeah. We'll spend a little time on what fighting used to look like and what I think a lot of people's fights still look like. I see this all the time. So, we've been together forever. So like the first fights we had was usually like you spend too much time with your friends, and it was, I need more of your attention. You looked at Susie Q in the hallway the wrong way, like stupid stuff, I mean, I guess it's all part of growing up. As you get a little older, you start to have, live together, and you have like actual things to fight about now. Like, hey, Matt, where did all the money go for the light bill this month? Mm-hmm. And hey,
how are we going to pay for rent?
Yeah. Why weren't you where you said you were? Why did I see your phone at this other location? Like what do you mean?
I don't track your phone, but
yeah, you do. Well, I mean, we share our locations now, right?
Now we do, but not back then.
You didn't?
No.
You should have.
I didn't think I wanted to know. I don't think I wanted to know what you were doing, honestly.
So what we're referring to is so I'm a recovered drug addict, alcoholic, and for years and years and years, we fought about where the money was going. Finances, that's a big source of conflict for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For us, it was, I don't know, it was a little more sinister in the fact that it was, I was lying about where I was and where the money was going and what have you. But
right, he would be getting money out of the ATM machine, and I would have to set up a notification on my phone that would tell me when he was taking money out, and he'd be like, "I'm not doing that," or it would happen almost every day. Or he was taking about $300 to go buy his drugs or whatever he was doing, but he was telling me that he needed to buy tacos for the office because it only took cash. And I'm like, okay, so why are you taking out $300 for freaking tacos?
And lying is the source of a lot of fights too. As you get a little older, you start to have fights that they really relate to the direction you're taking your life. Like, although you're in a relationship, each of us are individuals. and we kind of have an idea of what we want in our lives and the direction that we go. I mean, think about it, right? Let's just think about, okay, if you're listening to this, however old you are, you have made it that many years by making decisions. So people tend to trust their own decision making. When you get into a relationship with somebody, you voluntarily set yourself up for this angst and these disagreements about what's the best direction for us to go. It's kind of crazy if you think about it, like why we choose to get in relationships.
Right.
Like you've kept yourself alive all these years making decisions on your own. So you tend to trust yourself, right?
Sure.
Well, I do too. So when those...
You've made me question a lot of my thoughts and decisions.
That's a compliment, right?
No.
That's growth. That's where growth comes from.
Okay.
Hey. All right. So people tend to fight because they disagree on direction. That's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of it boils down to it. It's ego, right? It's ego. I'm right. You're wrong. How could you be right when I'm right? That's a lot of our fights too. But anyway,
always right.
No, not always, but I can be from time to time, where they say broken clock's worse or right twice a day, right? So,
yeah.
But anyway, the point of this is that there are fights worth having. There are fights not worth having, but you are going to have fights. It is inevitable. We're here to make sure that you're doing it in a healthy way.
Right.
So we found some awesome tools. So we talked about, some of the reasons why we fight, but typically people fight because communication's broken down. Communication is the genesis or the lack of communication for a lot of fights. I think about this in the workplace. You think about this with your kids. You think about this within a marriage or any relationship, but it really boils down to people fail to meet our expectations.
Yeah.
When people fail to meet our expectations they didn't know exist, who's that on though?
Yeah.
It's on the person who's holding the expectation. They're not communicating them clearly. So communication cannot be stated enough is crucial. If you want to avoid fights altogether, communicate. Just communicate. You need to be talking. Sometimes we fight because we have internal struggles of our own that we project onto others. Mm-hmm. So I can't, tell me if this sounds familiar. You come in to you walk into the house after a long day at the office and you've been arguing with the kids all day long. You had a bad day emotionally. Something might have happened with, in your personal life. I don't even know what that might be with a friend or something. And I just happen to walk into it and it's like, you take it out on me. Or I've done this too, where I've taken it out on you. So sometimes we fight because there's something going on inside of us.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with the other person. Sometimes you just walked into the line of fire. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep.
That happens a lot. Sometimes we fight because there's a lack of intimacy. Mm-hmm. I don't mean sexual intimacy. I just mean intimacy. It means you're not having deep conversations with one another. We're not on the same page when we're not being intimate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we have very passionate conversations a lot. So that helps.
But there are times when life happens and we just get busy and I'll just be, just completely buried in a project I'm working on, something at the office and spending long hours. And we just kind of lose touch with each other.
Yep.
I don't know what what your theme is this week and what you're fighting and what you're doing. And you don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And it generally results in a fight.
Yep.
Sometimes it's different values.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about just being different in general, but having different values. Like I know there are people in your life page that you just don't see eye to eye.
Right.
And for those types of relationships, all you can hope for is just there's a mutual respect of some kind, and then you just try to stay out of their way.
Yep.
Yep. Because every time you come across these people, they're fighting. You see them on Twitter all the time. The red team versus the blue team.
Yeah.
The political arguments that ensue. It's like, guys, you're never going to change anyone's mind over the internet. Why are we fighting? You just don't agree. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Why are we fighting? Sometimes we fight because we're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
We're overwhelmed. You can speak to that one, Paige.
Absolutely. That's one of my biggest ones. If I'm overwhelmed, I'm just going to pick a fight with you.
It happens. Picking fights. That happens.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll just be minding my own business and look over like, what? What are we arguing about? What did I do, man? Why? Once again, not communicating our needs. That was on my list. And at the end of the day, we're just different. people. We are not the same unit always. You know, when we're at our best, we are, but we're not always. And we tend to favor our own perspectives and our own experiences.
Right.
When someone's doing it wrong, they need to know about it.
Yeah.
Right? That's a big one.
Yep.
So what's the wrong way to fight? What's bad fighting?
Yelling.
Oh, yeah.
I have a problem with that. I still work on that. I have a very loud voice. Cussing at each other, you know, degrading each other, calling each other names, interrupting each other, throwing stuff across the room.
I've never thrown anything.
Oh, yeah. No, never? Okay.
Okay.
Cell phones,
Okay.
tables, tacos.
It was a grilled
Hangers.
stuffed burrito. Okay. I didn't throw the hanger at you. I just threw it.
It almost hit me.
You just happened to be over there.
Oh, okay.
I don't even think I was mad at you. I don't remember what I was mad about.
But you do have a temper, and you threw.
I do. Like, I throw things. I don't know why, but like when I get upset, like when I was a kid, my nickname was Mad Matt. Like I was just like this fiery kid, and just like I don't know. Do you ever thrown something when you're mad? You know,
Oh yeah, I've
good
thrown
that
things.
feels?
Yes, I've thrown things, but
But
also
it's not healthy, dang
it is not healthy. So other things, I guess, saying you did something over and over again instead of, you know, talking about how you feel. That's very toxic, in my opinion. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, absolutely. You did this to me.
Right.
You caused this.
Right.
If you didn't do this, I'd be fine.
Right.
Rather than owning our own part in it. So
Yeah.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Gaslighting is a bad one. And I was really, really bad about this. I didn't know what gaslighting was, but I was really good at it. So essentially gaslighting is, and I see this thrown around on Twitter a lot and it's used incorrectly.
Yeah.
What gaslighting some people, just because you're wrong doesn't mean someone's gaslighting you.
Right.
Like sometimes you're just incorrect and it is what it is. Like, I'm sorry. End of story.
Right.
Just because someone tries to show you why you were wrong doesn't mean they're gaslighting you.
No.
What gaslighting is that when you bring up an issue, and it's a real issue, it can be like, so I was a drug user and I was hiding this part of my life. I was lying about where the money was going. I was lying about where I was spending my time. And when she would bring it up, I would gaslight her. I would say, essentially, there is no problem. And to the extent that there is a problem, you're the problem.
Yes.
It's not the same as, hey, man, he told me the earth wasn't flat and like he's gaslighting me.
Right,
Like,
right.
That's
right.
not the same thing.
No.
It's psychological warfare and abuse, making someone think that what their reality is not true.
Exactly.
And doing so in a very manipulative way. And I did that for years and years. And, you know, that I'm a recovering gaslighter as well.
Yeah.
Bad fighting is also defending, like when you're just defending yourself.
Right.
And not owning your part in an argument or someone's perspective on why they're upset. Is your side of the street clean or not? And if it's not, you have to own those parts and stop defending yourself. You know, we get into these modes when we're fighting and it just becomes, you're just defending. We're just defending ourselves. You know?
Right. And you lose the point.
Yeah. Talking over each other is another one. Like when we're talking over each other, that's a bad fighting technique. Nothing good comes from that.
Right.
Because I'm not hearing what you're saying. And
No, you're not
hearing
listening
what I'm
either
saying.
way. You're just trying to get our point. We're
Right.
trying to get
We're
our
just
point
talking.
across, and then it's like nothing comes
Yeah.
from that.
It's like this clash of ego. It's just,
And then it causes yelling and
Yeah.
even throwing things even worse.
here's another one. I wrote it like this too. Bringing up old shit.
Yeah.
Bringing up things from the past that are completely irrelevant to what we're even fighting about.
Yes.
This is one. I'm looking at you.
I know. I'm awful at this. I really am. And I'm working on it. I promise.
Oh my gosh. That's one. Yeah. We're not addressing the actual problem. We're just beating each other up.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in fights too. So I guess we'll give a couple of examples of these from fights that we've had. So we mentioned the grilled stuffed burrito, throwing things. I've flipped over coffee tables, and a lot of this stuff I don't even remember. Like I was in a stupor. Doesn't excuse me from doing it by any means, but
we used to fight because you wouldn't clean up at all.
But those are like intimidation tactics. That's toxic fighting. That's
Yeah.
just, ego flex, trying to shut the other person down. Wait, what did you say that I don't clean up?
You didn't. There were fights that we would have when it's like I was pregnant or I was working my ass off and I needed help, and he would just leave for like 4 hours straight and not help me when I needed him.
This isn't like recent.
No, this is old.
Okay.
I said when I was pregnant. Our kids are 10 and 8.
No, with the recent kid, not the first kid,
The first
right?
kid,
Yeah,
yes.
I probably did do that.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I'm sure I did those things.
But that's the thing too, that I do remember a lot of old fights that sometimes do get brought up into our newer fights, which is ridiculous because you don't do that stuff anymore. You don't gaslight, you don't manipulate, you don't yell. Well, you yell sometimes, but we still work on that. But it's not nearly as bad as it was when you
I
were
don't really
actively
yell.
using.
I'm more of just like an animated talker. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If anyone has a friend from the Northeast, you know what I mean. Like my hands start moving. I'm like, I get animated, man.
Yeah.
But I'm not really yelling. I'm just excited,
Yeah.
Something that's funny. We were talking about this episode and planning it. I was like, I think that like I'm just better at arguing than you are.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And that sent us into a fight just about.
It did.
As she goes through the history of this, and she's like, you know what? Like,
Let's be
it's
real.
So messed up.
This was kind of scary to come into because I thought that for sure that we would just start freaking fighting.
On the episode?
Yes.
Dang. Got a lot of faith in us, huh?
Well, when we bring up all these things that we do, it's like, oh crap, actually do that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
tough.
hard. It's hard whenever you have to look at yourself, but you learn from that, and I think that's big.
Yeah, well, we mentioned it at the outset of the episode is that we're just two very different people, and we've decided, for better or for worse, we're going to figure this out, and we're going to make it. Damn it, till the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
we're going to figure this out. We just don't see eye to eye on certain things. Like, so I'm the type of person that when I see a problem, I want to address it right then and there. It's just simpler that way. That way I don't have a backlog of stuff that I have to do that I'll possibly forget. And then if you do, then the problem just gets worse over time. And so she comes home. This is like, I don't know, a month ago now. And just walks in the house nonchalant. And she's like, yeah, I've got a screw in my tire. Yeah, whatever. Just kind of goes about her business. And I'm sitting there with my jaw's like to the floor. I'm like, wait, like your tire light's on? And this goes back, and this is part of me bringing up old stuff. Every time I get in her car, it greets me with a Christmas tree of lights. The check engine light's on, low oil. It looks like people live in it. The tire lights will be on. And so like, she just tells me about this stuff nonchalantly. And so what I hear when she says that is, hey, by the way, I don't know what you were doing, but you got to fix my tire. And so it just like infuriated me. I'm like,
no,
why didn't you just fix it when you saw the light? Like, just stop by Discount Tire and have them, patch it.
Okay, well, I saw it the day before the light, and of course I didn't tell you then because I ain't going to tell you. I don't tell him this stuff typically. I didn't think he was going to get mad.
I'm sweating.
So
over
then
here.
I went.
You knew 2 days before.
Well, I went to go pick up.
Who does that?
Our
Who rolls
son.
around like that? You gonna roll around with my kids with flat tires?
Are you going to let me talk,
Sorry.
or are you just going to interrupt me?
Here we go.
Go
ahead.
Anyway, so I went to pick up my son, and I told my stepdad that my check engine light was on, and I needed my tires aired up, and I knew he had an air compressor thing. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And he went and he checked the tires, and he said there's a nail in it, but it's not very low. It was fine. I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, I can wait until Monday to go get this done.
This was on like a Thursday.
No, this was on a Saturday because I went to pick up our kid. Oh my geez, Luis. Okay, so I come home. I'm not feeling good at this point. I'm like, I had a sinus infection. I was tired. I'm not going to go to Discount Tire at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday and sit on ass with my 8-year-old. So I come home and he gets mad at me when I tell him this story. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. And he's like, why didn't you get it done? You could just go up there and get it done and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is why I don't tell you this stuff. So come Monday, I went up there to get my tire fixed, and I still had to wait another week because they didn't have my tire.
And so she proved her point that she was able to drive around on a flat tire.
And I went and aired it up at a gas station like 3 times to make sure it was okay.
Yeah. And I look at this retroactively, and what it was really about was that we just do things differently. So like I had a flat tire, which is really funny, 2 weeks later. And the moment that I got it, I went to a shop and had it patched. And I just didn't have to worry about it again. I fixed it right away. And that's the way that I handle things. It's not the way Paige does.
Nope.
What my fear there was is that it's about to become my problem. And so
wow.
Selfishly, I'm like, you need to handle this before it becomes my problem. And I get a phone call that you've had a blowout and I have to come change the tire.
Oh, that was the other thing. You said that if I called you on the side of the road, you would not come help me.
That's a threat.
That's pretty much what pissed me off. And I was like, fine, I'll just call my dad or my stepdad. They'll come help me.
God, she pulled that card on me. Yeah. That's a typical fight around here now. It's two people with just completely different values about the way they handle things. And she don't really care. I mean, we had this like high performance, like it's not a supercar, but it was a high performance, like 500 horsepower, awesome V8 car. And she would roll around on this thing. The tires were like $1,300 a piece. And
okay, but I always handled it.
Tear them up and leave them.
I handled it on my terms. So here's the point of this story. We have learned to agree to disagree, and we moved on from it. So it is what it is. I didn't say that I'm going to do better.
No,
he didn't say he was going to do better. We're just going to
mutual
move
respect
forward.
for each other's way of going about
and
things.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's not going to help me, so be it. I'll figure it out myself.
And it doesn't sound like there's a lot of resolution there, but there is growth there. It's
yes.
like, okay, I respect you. And there's still respect there. I respect you, the way you handle things. Like I said, you've obviously made it through almost 40 years of life.
Oh.
And you've figured something out. So you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I respect that. I respect the way you handle things, and I get it.
Right.
And
we'll move on.
It just is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So what's another funny one that we've had? There was the taco incident. There was another one though. I can't even remember what it was. Like something that's a recurring theme over and over and over. What was it?
I don't know.
Okay. Sneakers. I remember. It's sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that I'm getting, so I've got a few pairs of sneakers. And anytime
just a few.
Anytime I'm getting ready, I'd like some feedback on my outfit, man. So, hey, these are these. These are these. The yellow or the black, the blue or the white. And I just get the nastiest response. The nastiest response. And she can go from pretty cool and chill to like instantly so hot and mad, like out of nowhere. What is that?
Because I am busy getting myself together. I have to get the children together. I have so many things on my plate. I don't give a shit.
Just want some feedback.
What shoes you wear. Because if I tell you which shoes to wear, you're going to pick the opposite anyway.
But it still helps me come to a decision.
No, that's not my place. I get over it. Every time I tell you which one to wear, you're like, I think I like the other one better. Then why even ask me in the first place?
It's fun.
That's where I stand, and that's how it will always be.
Okay, so anyway.
Oh, and you get mad about stupid stuff.
Debatable.
Stupid.
Like what?
The sound bar on the TV.
Oh.
Yeah. The sound bar on the TV went out, and this fool wanted to tear the TV out of the wall, throw it outside, and go buy a new one.
I object. I never got that far with it. I was really frustrated though. Electronics, for some reason, like I'm really good with big stuff. Like you can bring me a serious problem, like someone has passed away, or I don't know, like
relationship issues,
we have foundation problems, like something like big problems or expensive problems, and I'm pretty much fine. But you bring me a small electronic, a minor inconvenience, and I have been known to lose my mind. I don't even know why. Like I don't know. And you don't get mad about any of that stuff.
No.
You only get mad about big things,
right? Things that will actually affect me in my life.
So
not a sound bar.
Which one's better?
I don't know. I think it works out because
there's balance in the force.
It's yin and yang.
There's balance in the force. Okay, so getting off the stories, how do people fight fair?
Yeah, so
what does that even mean?
we actually have a fight that constantly happens, and we did have to get professional help with it. So we've learned a lot of things about how to fight fairly and what that looks like and how we can practice that. So you want me to tell them what the rules are?
Yeah, I want you to go through these.
Okay. Well, you're going to help me elaborate on them a little bit.
Okay.
So we kind of discussed some of them, but the first one is discuss one issue at a time. Like, do not get off topic. Don't talk about things that happened in the past. Don't talk about what you were mad about 2 days ago. You talk about the problem at hand.
Right. If I didn't put the towels up, just tell me this is about you not putting the towels up.
Right.
This isn't about how, in, the grand scope of things, you just don't help me around here.
You don't help me do anything, because then
Right.
it gets into something completely off topic that has nothing to do with the problem at hand. This goes along with just staying present, which is what we've talked about a lot within our...
Yeah, discuss one issue at a time.
Right. Okay. So the next one is is no degrading language, which we are obviously still working on. If any of y'all have seen our recent fight from our first episode. Yes, we do call each other names sometimes.
Okay, but in all fairness, we do that. That's almost like this thing we do. It's almost kind
term
of
of endearment type
yeah, it's
thing.
sort of, yeah. It's like
No.
a funny thing we do. Okay, I'll put it this way: when we fight and we say stupid stuff like that to each other,
We don't mean it.
at the end of the we'll just stop and just look at each other and just start laughing hysterically. And that'll
That's
be the
how
end
that's
of
how
it.
we get through a lot of fights. We'll just look at each other, and it's like this love that we have that just makes us laugh. And I don't know, it's a special bond that we have that just kind of pushes everything aside.
Yeah.
And it lets us know that we're still there for each other. But anyway, don't talk down to each other. It's not healthy. We use the I feel sentences. So instead of saying you did this, you did that, tell somebody how you feel. Say, I feel angry when you do not help me around the house. I feel sad when you are not present with my family or with us. Instead of you are never around. It's judgmental, it makes other people feel very defensive. If you talk about how you feel, you're better off having a better conversation.
Yeah, you taking ownership of your feeling.
Yes.
Then you can talk about the action that led to your feeling.
Right.
So you almost have to volunteer the other person to say, I'm not telling you that you really caused this, but you basically caused this.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's presented in this way. It makes it their idea, which is all good ideas are my idea, right?
Facts.
What I mean by that is not saying my idea, but
it's everybody in general. People in
right?
general, we want it to be
us. The best ideas
us.
are our ideas.
Absolutely.
Great leaders don't tell people what they do. They coach people on how to create great ideas for themselves.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what great coaches and teachers do.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one is going to be no interruptions. And if this is really hard for people to do, you need to listen and let the other person speak. But if it's really hard for you to do as a couple, have a timer set aside for 1 minute for each person to speak and actually listen. That'll help you become present and calm and put yourself in the other person's shoes.
It takes practice though, because some people just stare at that clock for 1 minute. It's like, man, I can't wait till I can talk again.
That is true.
It's like a penalty box.
No. The interrupting thing and listening actually takes a lot of practice. I learned how to listen from FEP, which was a family program when Matt was in rehab. And they did this really cool lesson about listening. And we can get on to that on some other time, but it's really cool. That's how I learned how to listen. The next one is no stonewalling.
Yeah. So stonewalling is essentially when you disassociate, and it's like the silent treatment. I think that's the most common way that this shows itself, is silent treatment. So I had a friend, and when he and his wife would fight, they would get in arguments, and she would disassociate for sometimes weeks, where, he's trying to fix this issue and she didn't like that she was wrong. And so she would just not talk to him. She wouldn't respond to his texts. She wouldn't give him eye contact, and they really wouldn't communicate at all. That's how relationships break down. Like if you're going to just act like a 2-year-old and sit in the corner and pout because you don't want to have a fight
Right.
to work toward a resolution, that's
Right.
almost like just giving up on things, you know? So stonewalling, don't stonewall.
It's okay to take a timeout, but
Timeouts,
yes,
right.
timeouts are acceptable.
I'm a
And
big timeout guy.
yes, he is, and it took me a long time to realize this, people. Just so you know,
Yeah,
I
so-
used to get very angry with him taking his timeouts, but his timeouts were driving. So
But I do this at work too. Like if someone brings me something and my first thought is I'm enraged, I take a deep breath and I don't owe anyone a response right then and there. And most of the time
Yeah.
when I'm upset, you're not going to get a good response anyway. You're going to get something like emotionally charged bullcrap that makes me feel better after I say it, but it's not what I was really meaning.
it's not productive at all.
Right. So my first thought is usually the wrong one. So I give myself a minute or two to think about it, take a few deep breaths and really process it so I can come up with
Which is
something
okay.
productive. It's okay.
It is okay.
It'll drive your partner nuts at first.
It does. It does. But it's taken me, I've learned that it's okay because I need to do it as well.
Yeah. You do. Give it a shot sometime.
I do. I'll go to the bathroom and like time out and he'll be doing whatever. And we figure it out from there. But the next one is attempt to compromise.
Yeah. This is kind of like the tire thing.
Yeah. And if you don't come up with a that was the compromise, but if you don't come up with a resolution, just do that. You can agree to disagree and that's okay.
Yeah. You're not always going to come to, I think when we start fights, our thought is, I'm going to convince this person of why I'm right.
Yeah. We're selling ourselves.
When the goal should be, let's find a middle ground
Yeah.
that we can both work on and live with.
Right.
And that, sort of works for both of us, but it's the best. It's the most utilitarian decision. It's the greatest thing for the greatest number,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
greatest good for the greatest number.
Right. Right.
Tough to do though.
Yeah. And the last thing that I have on the list is to discuss the pros and cons of each perspective. So talk about, write it out if you have to. Matt and I do this a lot. If we have a fight or something, we need to write down what are the pros of this, of what you're talking about and the cons, and same with what I'm doing. And then we, weigh them.
Yeah. I'm kind of nerdy that I like to make lists, and pros and cons are a big one for me. Like I'm dealing with one right now. Like, bought a new vehicle. We've got an old vehicle. It's like, should we keep this thing? Like I literally made a pros and cons list, and I'm still kind of torn on it. I don't really know. Like write out the pros, write out the cons. Like
Right. And this goes with not forcing things too. So
right.
we'll figure it out whenever something
financial
happens.
decisions like this at the office, to like cost benefit analysis, this is basically just a pro cons list. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with pro cons.
Right.
So this is, I think this has been a productive episode.
Well, yeah, we're going to have this list up on our website if you'd like to print it out or have it listed for you for your next fight, so that you can just look and see, work on one thing. You don't have to do it all at once. We're still practicing. This is a lifelong experience,
Right.
But it helps you open your eyes a little bit and communicate better with your partner.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know if you ever get to a finish line where it's
No.
like, oh, look, we're perfect now.
Hell no.
You
That's
know,
boring.
old habits will come to the surface and bubble up, and things will happen whenever you're fighting. But what's important is that you both know what good fighting, fair fighting looks like, and what the signs of bad fighting, and look at them honestly and look in the mirror and say, where do I fall short here? And what am I responsible for that causes our arguments to end up in just this tire fire?
Right.
Literally tire fire is the name of our argument. But what am I doing to contribute to this just nonsense, toxic situation, and having to really look at that and then know what actions to take. And so,
Yes, and you can also video yourself, because I learned a lot from our last fight.
those
by the
are
way.
funny.
If you have the time to video your fight, do it.
Set up a camera.
Do it, because you will see things and you're like, oh my gosh, I really said that. I really acted that way. And it helps you.
Or the facial expressions you make. You're
Oh
like,
my gosh.
"Ooh, no wonder
Yes.
he yelled at me."
Right. So just a little tip there.
Oh my gosh. So that closes it out. We're still going to continue to do one of these a week. We've been kicking around the idea of 2 a week. Not exactly sure how we feel about it yet. We'll see how the response gets. If people want to see more of this, then we'll have more of it. Like Paige mentioned, there'd be a guide with fair fighting rules posted on our website, www.dissent.com. how many W's did I just give? www.twofocouple.com. That's twfocouple.com. We'll also make it available on our Instagram and Facebook pages. If you haven't already, if you're new or if you're returning and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, leave a review. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't. Also, hey, shoot us a message if you want a free sticker. We've got these awesome stickers. We're just sending them to people.
They're so fun.
We'll take care of postage and everything else, and just they're awesome for the fall season that's ahead of us. And I think that once you kind of get the hang of what we're about, it'll all make sense. The logo itself, their greatness. So that does it for this week. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back next week.